We're going to do a 1,000 Platinum Prize while we are hanging out here. And just kind of what else you can expect on this stream. We are going to kind of talk a little bit more about a frame that we debuted at TennoCon, perhaps.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit more. Now, this frame is not coming in October, but we did want to give you a little update on the progress of maybe the wolf-inspired frame. We debuted it at TennoCon. We're working with Joe Mad on it, and we showed a lot of concepts actually during the art show, kind of the iterations of it all. But now we're working on the coloring, the official coloring of it.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Yes.
Yes.
So I colored it. So we can show some artwork. I just started coloring it. So.
What are we looking at, Eric?
9 ideas.
Damn.
Yeah, so Joe and I went back and forth on some of this. I started coloring the drawing that he showed at TennoCon. We showed at TennoCon, so I just kind of started there. We picked a couple of them. I mean, they all could work. They look kind of cool, right? So, and then I talked with Reb a bit about it, I think, here and there, and Joe was leaning towards more like kind of Wolverine colors and stuff, which I thought was kind of neat, but I don't know if we could say that on stream.
You mean Wolverine the animal? Like the animal of the Great North Canadian one?
Yes,
Yeah, of course.
That's the sound it makes.
The animal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course.
My favorite sound.
Yeah.
So then from there, we took a couple, and I think the next slide we kind of honed in on a few more here. So I redrew a standing pose to help with the 3D modelers, so they get a 3/4 front view, gonna work on a back view kind of thing. So, because the crunched over posed, while cool, it's hard to see kind of all the details. And Joe Mad's stuff is really detailed already, so trying to decipher some of that was a bit tricky. I don't know how much will survive the process in 3D, but we'll see when we get there. So that was kind of the color we went for, number 5. We seemed to agree on that one. And while I was working it up, it got a little too much like Saren and some other colors. I think I sent it to Meg, and she's like, interesting. And I'm like, interesting good, interesting bad. And so we chatted a little bit. I sent it over to Reb, and we were kind of like, well. So then I took a kind of a quick pass at a whole other, like 3 new ones, and I sent that to Reb, and I was like, I kind of like this one, and you agreed with it. So that's the next image.
Dun, 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 dun. Wow.
So really liked how this turned out. So, and the colors pop, which is kind of what was lacking the previous iteration. So.
Yeah, and like these sorts of things are all part of like the first impression people have will always be with the default colors. We do color palettes with them, so we always want to build a unique identity out with those base colors because, well, it's usually the first thing people see. So,
yeah, totally.
Until they go in with their pinks and their greens and their blues.
They're 6.5s.
6.5s.
That is the second impression. They see it in the stream.
Yeah, that's the second.
Oh, you'll see it all right.
Yeah.
Look forward to that one.
But yeah, it's been super cool to work on this, and yeah, I don't know if you want to slide into the.
Yeah, I think just like
stuff
generally, Megan said this isn't coming in October, and for this frame, we always thought in ourselves, how would we do this in a different way? Like not just making a werewolf, but wolf inspired. And I hope people really dig where we're going with her. We have everything is sort of. The things have started in a very interesting way, so pretty hyped for where it's going for the wolf inspiration, or how do we say lobo?
Lobo.
Lobo, yeah.
Or Loba.
Loba.
In this case.
Oh, Loba?
Loba.
Lobatita? I don't know. She's too big for that.
Yeah, there's some cool ideas with this whole frame. I don't know if you want to speak about those things.
We'll leave that for, we'll keep you guessing.
We'll have Greg on here, and he can talk all about the stuff he has to do for
Yeah, because putting this into 3D.
He's got a lot of work to do.
He's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, so she...
So a question about name.
Oh, well.
Good question.
I'm going to segue this. She doesn't have a name yet, but she's about to have a name because live right now, Marcus, hit the button. Live right now in the Design Council is submissions open for ideas for her name. Now, 1 submission per person. It's going to be open for a couple weeks. If you're in the Design Council, you can have a chance at naming this Warframe. And then what's going to happen after that is once that's done, we're going to take everything and kind of make a short list of it, probably a top 10. And within Quest to Conquer Cancer, one of the donation tiers is actually unlocking a poll for the entire community to be able to vote on this frame's name based off of that short list.
Shakira.
Shakira!
She-Wolf! Oh my god! Oh my god!
No.
Settled.
She's gonna sue us.
No, we need Shakira like the animal.
Oh, the animal.
Like Wolverine.
The Canadian
Right.
Shakira, yes.
Right.
Of course. Rural Canadian Shakira.
Just like Wolverine, the animal.
Just like the Wolverine, yeah. So, Design Council 10.0, head on over to the forums, submit your name, and then, like I said, the dev team will be taking a short list from that. And then, within Quest to Conquer Cancer, when we reach that donation tier, which I know we absolutely will,
Especially if Shakira donates.
especially
girl.
if Shakira, hello,
Shakira?
you there? It'll be open for the entire community to vote off of that little short list of the top 10, and then she will have a name. So, very exciting. Excited to finally have a name for her.
So many names.
I know. We're not taking them in Twitch chat unless you're a verified user by the name of Shakira.
Oh, Shakira.
Or Wolverine,
Or Wolverine the animal.
the animal.
Now, speaking of the wolf-inspired frame, we do have a concept of what is going to be her signature weapon.
One of
Yes.
two.
Yeah, one of
two.
two, yeah. So you can maybe show it, but I was playing around with scythes and axes were kind of the two I was going for. And I was looking at Joe Mad's, obviously his wild stylings of things, and which is really cool. As I worked, this is kind of a first pass, and immediately was shot down.
Whoa. Trash. Get this garbage. Get
They
it
were
out.
like, it kind of was felt a little too deluxe skin. Kaz gave me some great feedback on all this, and from that, and I guess Reb, you kind of made a decision. We're going to go with a great axe.
Are you a creative director by chance?
I am not. Pretend to be though. No, it's been a long time since we've done an axe as a key weapon. I should remember, and I usually do, but I honestly couldn't remember the last
hilarious.
actual axe we released. I know there's the Cindo and Cindo Prime, but like a version of me was like, what is?
Don't look at me, I'm an old man.
I know the
memory.
answer somewhere in here, but I was like, oh man, it's been a while, because we just did a new school of scythes
Yes.
with the two-handed
Hespar,
scythe,
yeah.
and we just wanted to make sure we could get something, on my little map of what melee schools get the most attention. We have so many dual swords, and there's some that we haven't done in a long time, so like there's two things that go into it. Last time we did something in that weapon school, and how many of a certain weapon school are there? So when we add like the ghoul saw was its own of its kind, and now the two-handed scythe is own of its kind. So we need a bit more time. But like Hildren, technically, she has Larkspur, and yeah.
What's
So-
that sound? Oh, okay.
You want to record,
Record it.
I mean,
I've already recorded.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Theirs is a hammer, not an axe. Yeah, I literally I couldn't remember, but anyway.
We do have another piece of
So we
art
went with
for it
axe.
as
Well,
well.
it was really funny because watching the chat, they're all picking kind of the number that we
Right.
ended up going with, which was number 4.
Wow, that was
choice.
all right.
And
There's another one.
so yeah, so then
Yeah.
so Marco took over and started to render this out in a more Tenno style, less deluxe, which is what I was doing, and so yeah, so he's killing it. It's awesome. So and Kaz and him have been working on this together, kind of refining it, and I think it's gonna be pretty rad. So
Super hyped.
and we have, I think, another thing to add, but we're not going to talk about that either yet, right? So
There's another weapon.
Let's save it, shall we? But again, not coming in October, but we just wanted to give you kind of an update on where she's at, and obviously, debut the fact that you could name her. So, little tie in there.